So, I'm a bit nervous for the future of Attack on Titan, and for good cause, too. Now, before you jump to conclusions and leave a plethora of mean comments, I'm not talking about production or quality, I'm talking about time. And the fact that there are only 3 episodes left in this supposed last season. And, boys, that's not a lot of time to wrap things up. Now, I do want to talk about why this secretly may be a great thing and what I think they have in store for us. But also, I just want to sit here and theorize what is going to happen and why things are like this. All while trying my absolute best to keep my anime-onlys from being spoiled. That's gonna be a little hard, but trust me, I spent a lot of time on this script to make sure I didn't ruin anything, so don't worry, anime-onlys. So let's start with the simple but monstrous, maybe even titanic problem. Time. I know what you might be thinking to yourself. But Matt, yeah, it'll be a bit rushed, but surely they can squeeze in what they need in the last 3 episodes. They just gotta trim some of the fat and boom, it'll be fine. Alright, well, let's do some math to show just how impossible that idea is. So far, there are 72 episodes of anime out, and they have covered up to 112 of the manga chapters. So some quick math later, and that's about roughly 1.5 manga chapters per episode, which is actually a really good pace to maintain, especially for a 70+ episode series. So good job out there, Attack on Titan. But so far, there are a total of 139 chapters out, leaving 27 chapters that have yet to be adapted, not to mention that there are 2 more chapters that have yet to be released, bringing that number up to 29 chapters. Over 3 episodes. Yeah, can you see where the problem is yet? That's rounding down 9.5 chapters per episode if they were to finish on time. Yeah, that's just casually shoving 6 times the content into these episodes. Now, I'm not saying there's stuff that can't be trimmed down here, but there's not that much that can be removed. Plus, keep in mind, this is the climax of the entire series. This is what the entire anime has been building up to for years now. And trust me, as someone who's read it, it's amazing and worth it, but it will absolutely be ruined if they try to cram it all into 3 measly episodes. And here is my point. I think MAPPA is a way smarter company than that, and frankly, they may have come up with an even more clever solution than just adding on a few more episodes. So, I've been snooping around, and there have been some minor leaks that the final episode of the anime will not be the final episode of the manga. Obviously, I feel like I need to say this. These leaks are not verified, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. But in these leaks, a lot of them are referring to episode 16 potentially not being the last we see of Attack on Titan. However, from what I can tell, it does seem like season 4 is verified to be the final season of Attack on Titan. You know, since it is called Attack on Titan the final season. So what the hell does all this mean? Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is Neon Genesis Evangelion. I think the idea is that the anime is going to end, but lead into a movie. And I think with some proper pacing and trimming of fat, I do think it is possible to end the show with the last 3 episodes and a movie. Maybe 2 movies if they really don't want to cut out any of the backstories. But I definitely think the addition of a movie towards the end of the anime would buy them enough time to end the show properly. Actually, I take that back. Maybe even better than properly. Sorry, the more I think about this idea, the more likely I think it's going to happen, or at least I hope it does. The final arc of the show would genuinely make for a fantastic movie. And I hope that if they do make it a movie, MAPPA drops movie amounts of budget to make it, which would help so much in the art department, especially considering the amount of CG they would need to include if they didn't have the money. Making the final arc of this anime a movie would honestly be a fantastic addition to the show and would fix so many of the problems I've listed here. Plus, it would also make sense with all the potential leaks we've seen. Now, if this were all the case, the only problem I'd have is where they're going to end the anime at. And frankly, that part scares me the most. I have to admit, my buddy Hiding in Public was one of the first people who told me that he thought they were going to cut the show short and listed a specific scene in volume 30 that he thought they were going to end it on. Which, God, I hope that they don't do it for the sake of the anime-only people out there. Manga fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But at the current pace of the show, it's definitely not impossible. I really hope not, because God, that would be such an evil scene to leave people hanging on. But then again, I wouldn't put it past the Attack on Titan creators for trolling us like that. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say I'm a bit nervous about the whole Attack on Titan thing right now. Like I said, I doubt the final season of the show is the end of the anime as a whole, but merely the final season before the movie, or hey, maybe the movies. But yeah, let's pray to God that they end it at a tasteful location. Not something cruel like volume 30. I mean, it would be hilarious, but really messed up. Either way, we'll see what they end up doing really soon. So all we can do is just hope for the best and wait to see how this crazy ride comes to an end. Thank you for watching. So yeah, I decided to take a less serious approach to this Attack on Titan video, just because, you know, I was doing the mental math in my head. I was like, how the hell are they gonna come to an end of this season? And so after that, I started doing research. I found the leaks. I mean, like I said, the leaks don't seem super reliable, so, you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt, definitely. For the love of God, don't go an anime-only ending. That would be the biggest waste in the world. But I feel like with how close everything's tied together, I highly doubt that they're gonna go anime-only. After all, I mean, they have stuck like strictly to the manga all the way up till like the last 3 episodes, so I doubt they're gonna make do anything stupid like that at the very end. Either way, here's taking on my patrons. You guys are my heroes. Please make sure you guys share, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Man Matt. Make sure you guys stay man and go watch that goddamn anime.